Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like the top dog, giving them all just like $1,000,000, things in his cups. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh yeah, and listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. Y'all listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. I got a radio show. Yeah, man. Real grateful for that. You know, it's funny, man. I remember when I first started out in radio, a lot of my peers laughed at me. It was, you know, some of it was being mean-spirited. Some of it was just, you know, mocking me. I'm used to stuff like that. But I had as a special guest on my show, Joel Osteen on my talk show. And you know something, man, he said something that was, I can't remember the scripture. I don't know exactly how it went. Like we were having a long conversation, but the gist of it was, don't be upset with where you are now, and don't be upset with the small things in your life. Be grateful for the small things and the small position that you have right now, because you don't know where that's going. You don't know what that's going to be one day. You don't know what that's going to lead to. And that was very warming to hear him say that. But it also reminded me of when I started in radio, how small it was. It reminded me of when I started in stand-up making $25 a show. It reminded me of the cars I used to drive and the cars I didn't have. It reminds me of not having a home at a period in my life and what God has allowed me to live in now. So don't be distraught over your position now, and don't be ungrateful or unappreciative for the things you have now, because you don't know what that's going to grow into. And that's really the gist of what he got, that I got from what he was saying. I just wanted to share that with you, that where you are now is so temporary, because now, like I've said before, now is a fleeting moment. As soon as you say now, right after you finish saying now, that moment that you claimed as now, that's gone. So the where you are now is a very fleeting process. Now, you can change where you are now, and you can change how you feel about where you're at now, and you can change about where you're going by simply changing your mind. It is no different. I'm telling you, folks, the thing that I've learned about successful people is not so much of what they do. It's not what they have. It's not how I see them functioning. The biggest thing I've learned about successful people is how they think. That's the thing that's different. It's how they think. And I'm telling you that you can change the way you think on any subject and start becoming successful towards that starting now. And that, you have to understand that, man. The biggest difference I've noticed between successful people and non-successful people is how they think. I was reading where this guy said that he was taught all wrong about money. He said that his father was very negative about money. All throughout his life, he heard his father say, people who got money have walked on somebody to get it or cheated somebody to get it. People who have money is the root of all evil. Money is this, and people who got money, don't deserve it. They've done something wrong to get it, yada, yada. So he said he grew up the whole time thinking that having money was wrong with that. He discovered that it wasn't, Now, look, you can choose to be successful any way you want to. I've chosen several ways to be successful. I want to be a very, very successful father. I think that's one of the things that's paramount in my life, that I really am working hard right now to become a successful father. Not a successful father in terms of money, but a successful father in terms of offering the amount of love and guidance and leadership and the example that my children need to look at. And that's what I'm really, really working hard at now. I want to be successful as a father, but I want to be successful as a husband. I want Marjorie to always know that she can count on me, to not have to wonder about me or look for me. I want her to feel secure in the fact that I really have gotten it right, that I really am focused on being a good husband to her, because it means so much to me. Having gone through everything I've gone through, and then having God to have, at this stage of my life, given me such a wonderful gift, I do want to show her how much I appreciate it. So I'm working hard on a lot of levels. I'm working hard. I'm trying very strong to be a successful motivator of people. I want to be a sharer of information to people that will uplift others and give others the same things that I've learned through the trials and tribulations of my life, but at the same time, share that information and use the power of this microphone to uplift people, not to destroy. My show is not about, guess what so-and-so said, guess what so-and-so did. I don't like mean-spirited things about people, I joke with people who call in, that's another thing. But I don't like destroying people with the power of the microphone. So I'm working very hard on being successful in a lot of areas of my life. Now, also, I do care about being financially successful, too, because my father, one of the gifts he gave me was a very simple gift. He told me a long time ago, he said, son, the best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. And that stuck with me. And this was a hard-working man who was a coal miner, who worked construction his entire life. My father didn't have an easy life, man. My father didn't sit behind a microphone. My father didn't come to work and people cheered for him. My father wasn't famous. My father was just a go-get-it dude. Now, he instilled that in me, and I've taken that and applied it to my craft, and I thank God for him for that. But I do try to be financially successful so that I can do some things with it to help some other people. Now, am I opposed to having nice things? No. Do I apologize for having nice things? No. And why should I? I work. I'm not on the radio asking to give me money, so I can go buy a car. I'm working, so I don't feel how you want to feel, and other people do feel that way about it. But if success in terms of finance is what you're lacking, you can go about the business of doing that. I'm writing a book, and that whole book is about teaching people how to become successful. And, man, I'm breaking it down in a way where everybody can get it, man, because I want the college student to get it. I want the working mom to get it, the single mom to get it, the hard-working father that's been trying to hold his family together can get it. The father that ain't ever got it together and feel that because of that reason he can't be the father he needs to be. I'm writing something, man, to put it into words to let you know that God is a forgiving God, and that God is a merciful God, and that God can get you out of any situation you find yourself in. You just can't beat yourself up every time you make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time, man. I just got to remind myself to get up. I ask God for forgiveness. I call on his mercy and his grace, and I get up and I go again. But it's coming, man. And if finance success is what you want, you got to change your mind. You got to start thinking about how to produce it. You got to just, this is not what you do first. The first thing you do is you got to ask. You got to ask to have a life and have a life more abundantly. That's a scripture. That he comes to you to give you life and to give you life more abundantly. That's a scripture. That ain't a joke. That ain't a theory. That's a fact. And the fact that if you don't have a life of abundance, you can get that by asking. Now follow the rest of it, but it starts by asking. Then it starts by believing. And the how-to, don't even worry about that. He takes care of that himself. He'll send the stuff your way. But you got to be willing to put some effort in this thing now. And you can do it. Okay, I know I was a little around the place today, but that's what it was. So, let's go get it. All right?
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I have your attention, please? You are listening to the baddest morning show on radio from anywhere in the free world, third world, and out of this world. It's nothing like it. And today's show is dedicated to haters.
Oh. Come on, man.
This show is dedicated to haters.
Yeah.
Yes. All of you who spend your time hating on other people. Those of you who spend countless minutes and hours typing and downloading and commenting and making verbal attacks on people you don't even know.
No.
This is dedicated to the hater, that people who inspire people to say the famous words, I'll show you.
Haters make it.
To haters who sit up in here in your own small mind and think you are far bigger than you really are. You are really just a keyboard. So for all the haters out there, we love you. For the little hater that you are. And small is your new name.
Question.
Yeah.
You have any haters, Steve?
Hell yeah.
Do I?
Hell yeah. Can I tell you something?
What's that?
All but one of my haters don't even know me.
And the more you do, the more haters you get.
All my haters except one don't know me.
Don't even know you.
Yeah.
Who is that one, though?
And she don't really know me no more.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to stop that right there. We're going to stop that right there.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to stop that right
Yeah,
there.
yes.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Tell her my ex-wife I'm on the radio.
He just had to go there, didn't he?
Yeah,
Who used to say that? Yeah.
You did.
Good morning, Shirley.
Good morning, Steve.
Carla, what's going on?
Good morning, Steve. Crew, what's up?
Hey, girl.
Junior,
Morning,
fool number one.
Rich Uncle.
Fool number two.
Watch out there now.
Yeah. Okay, man. I gotta tell you, man. This was like pure greatness, man.
What you talking about?
Pure greatness. Sunday night, we taped the Def Jam 25-year reunion.
What?
Wow.
When it airs on
Def Jam?
Netflix, you have got to have Netflix. You gon' be throwing up.
Wow.
Can't wait.
These
The
Negroes,
legends.
5 years?
25
these Negroes was clowning.
Who are the legends in the
Who
building?
was all there?
Everybody.
Everybody was there.
Everybody.
Wow.
Shucky
Like
Ducky,
Shucky Ducky.
hamburger.
Martin.
The show opened.
Uh-huh.
They walked out. Me, Cheryl Underwood, Sad the Entertainer,
Oh, yeah.
and Dave Chappelle. The show
Whoa.
got started from right there.
All right, listen. When we come back, something funny. We got Truth Be Told from Junior. And Steve has stories from Def Jam. We'll be back right after this at 32 after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hurricane Irma's fury, storm surge, records, gusting winds. A lot of folks still without power at this moment. We are still helping our listeners in Florida. Storm Irma moved north, impacting Georgia. Now, if you want to help, text Irma to 90999 to make a donation or go to redcross.org and please help if you can. And as we move on now, it's time for something funny.
Well, let me say this about Irma.
Okay.
It was horrific.
Yeah.
But like I heard one lady say on TV, thank God, because it could have been worse. And that's what you have to find. You have to find the upside to it. The Keys is underwater. The Naples was hit hard, man. Tampa, Clearwater, them folks. I mean, man, that wind. Hey, man, that wind, that tropical storm wind is all the way up in Atlanta. Yeah, they closed the airport. Yeah, they closed the airport because that wind gust, man, that windshield when you're trying to land and take off, that's not what you want. No. It was rough. So it was rough for a lot of people, man. But, you know, thank God it wasn't worse, but there's so many people suffering in spite of that fact. The upside is it wasn't worse.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that's lost anyone, I mean, it can't be any worse, and I'm not saying that, so please don't take it the wrong way. But, you know, for those of you that understand, you know, how God works, if you here and you safe and you made it.
That's a blessing.
Come on. That's a blessing.
That's a total blessing. Right?
That's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Junior?
Junior?
Oh, we gonna talk. Are we talking about Def Jam?
Truth be told.
No, I said truth be told first. Yeah. He said,
Well, he did answer correctly.
How you doing?
Junior?
I swear I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Junior, with truth be
Is this
told.
bad acting theater we doing right?
No, I was so locked in that I was not acting bad. But you know what? I really, and listen, family, I really want to say, I'm glad you started off the show with hating.
Yeah.
No, that really means something to me because I finally got one.
You finally got a hater?
I got one hater.
Seriously?
Found him yesterday. But I'm glad you started off because let me tell you something. Just because we moved out here to LA, I got 2 jobs. My life a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get a text message saying, you seem to can't answer the phone no more. Well, truth be told, I can't. Because I got 2 jobs now. And why would I have time to talk to you when I got 2 jobs? You can get to hating if you want to, but I'm moving up. So then he hit me back with a text. Oh, so we waving the brand new flag? Yeah, hell we is. Why would you want the old flag? I ain't like the way that one felt. Yeah, I got a new flag. It's called 2 jobs. Wow. Now I'm changing my own life and I'm taking responsibility for that. So be upset if you want to. One hater I got. Still won't get no phone call from me because I got 2 jobs. I'm on Steve and the morning show. So you can, as a matter of fact, Uncle Steve, he ain't said it, but he thought it. You can kiss Junior's ass. That's what he said.
We're on one job. We're on one job right now, waiting to walk to the other job. Yeah. That's where we at right now.
That's where we at right now.
We're on one job, the other job down the hall.
On my way.
Okay, Junior.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
Finally got you a hater.
Man got one, and it's motivating.
Oh, and let me tell you something, man.
That's what haters do.
They stack up. You get more. The bigger you get, the more you get.
Yeah.
And the further away from you they are.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
They can't get to you.
Yeah, the further away from you they are. It's not even close.
No.
Okay, so that was a great job, Junior.
Thank you all that. You got your one of your thank you all that? You got?
Yeah, finna start that list
Yeah.
you talking about. About to start that list today. His name on it first.
Thank you all that.
So Def Jam Sunday night, we shot it, man. It was a great reunion, man. It was some great moments on stage. You got to see it on Netflix. And there were some great moments for me personally. Here's a moment that I had. I ran up into Cat Williams.
Oh, wow, Steve.
And I haven't seen Cat Williams since 2009. I think it was. The night we performed in Detroit, and he said some pretty strong remarks and released a video and everything. And my book came out that year. And I've been to Cat Williams, and I'm happy to say that Cat and I are at peace.
Good,
Me and Cat
Steve.
Williams,
Well, that's
man,
good.
hugged.
That's good.
That's
Shook
really
hands
good.
like
I
men.
love that.
And yeah, man, and he looked good. Yeah, man.
He funny as hell.
Cat looked good. Cat went up on stage. He was funny. He was Cat Williams.
He's back.
Yeah,
Good.
he was funny, man. He said some funny stuff when he walked his little ass out there. So that was a cool moment for me. And shout out to my boy Stutterbox. Stutterbox in L.A., who actually saved me one time. He really did, man. This brother saved me. I got myself into quite a situation with some bangers out there, and he made one phone call.
Okay, that sounds crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, but you want to send shout out to people like that, Stutterbox, man. Good boy, Stutterbox. Appreciate you. Y'all hear this on the radio, tell Steve Harvey, send him big love and a shout out. He my boy.
Always get your ass inside.
Everywhere he goes.
What did you get
You
into?
know, man, you got healing is good. Sometimes you got to go up for healing.
There
Then
you go.
I saw D.L. Hughley.
Okay.
We hugged. We brothers.
Good.
The
D.L.
king.
Hughley walked out on stage, said some things about me. You know, at the show last night, we was out there together because we paid tribute to Bernie Mac last night. So all the kings walked out on stage with cigars, lit and
like you.
smoking.
Sound like you had a come to Jesus meeting with everybody. Son.
Yeah. All I had to do was have you there, Tommy. That's all I needed was you there. And we could clear the air about that time you took my car and used my house when I was out of town. If we could just get that under the way, I have cleared up all my hatred for people.
Why are we still talking about that?
See, right there. Why is we still talking
Why
about
are we, guys?
Is
First
we?
of all.
Is we? Is we?
That's
what,
we
Shirley?
is.
Why are we still talking about this? Hey,
That's what he said. Why is we?
thank
Are you always gonna be in this?
Listen, we gotta go. Coming up next, nephew Tommy's Run That Prank Back. So we'll be back right after this. Come back.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Ann is going to be here. She'll have today's national headlines, of course, national news, and a hurricane tropical storm Irma. But right now, it's time for the nephews Run That Prank Back. What you got, Neff?
Booty makeup. I kind of changed it a little bit, but yeah. Can you do my makeup? That's where the makeup going. So booty makeup, really,
He's really proud of it.
Booty makeup.
Hey, they got face makeup, chest makeup. Why can't we have booty makeup?
Hello, may I speak to Brandy, please?
Yes, this is Brandy.
Hi, Brandy. My name is Carl. I'm calling. I got you came highly recommended. You actually I'm sorry. Is it I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is it makeup artist, makeup stylist? What do you call it?
It's makeup artist. I'm a professional makeup artist.
Okay. And you work at the you work with the makeup counter in.
Correct.
Okay. Listen, I got a photo shoot coming up, and I wanted to see about sometime this week, maybe the following week, you could actually come and I hire you to actually make me up for my photo shoot. Do you do a lot of photo shoots at all? Or you?
Yes, sir. I sure do. I've been in the business for 10 years, so I've been around several photo shoots.
Okay, good deal. So you have any time this week that I can actually just come in and we can do like a trial run or something?
Yeah, I'll actually be here Friday for about 6 hours. Will Friday work for you? I'm here. I start at 11.
At 11. I mean, I could come in maybe around 3 on Friday if can you squeeze me in at that time?
I sure can.
Okay. What's so good? Is there a certain makeup for men?
Well, it kind of works out. It works out the same as for women in photo shoots. You just need some type of cream foundation, something to even out the skin tone. Powder you down to take away the oils, cover up any blemishes or anything like that. It's pretty much the same. Of course, you don't get the whole eyeshadow and lashes and stuff, but
right.
Well,
I'm not trying to do all that, but I'm just trying to look good on camera.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: how much makeup have you done as far as men? You know what I mean?
Yes, several.
Okay.
So I'm very comfortable with it. You'll be fine, trust me.
That's what I was really worried about, is if you were going to be comfortable with it, because have you done? I'm a little conscientious about a few things, you know what I mean? And have you? How many butts have you done?
I'm sorry. How many what?
Like butts, you know? How many butts have you made up?
I haven't made up any butts. You mean like asses?
Yeah, I mean, because see, I'm actually doing a nude photo shoot. and I got a couple scratches and some old scars on my butt, and I, like you said, I'm a little shy about some of that. So I was hoping you could actually make sure that those scars don't show, and you said you kind of make sure everything doesn't look oily. You know what I mean? And I just need to get my.
No, well, but I didn't I didn't understand what you were talking about. I may not be the makeup artist. Seriously, I'm not gonna do your.
Okay, but we're just talking about makeup, though. You're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm not about to put my makeup brushes that I use on people's faces on your ass. Like, tell your photographer to like Photoshop that.
Okay,
like,
okay. That's why I'm coming in to see you on Friday. I want you to do everything and make me up there in the store so I can see what it looks like. I want to see.
You were going to come into my job and make me do your. Like, what planet are you? Where did you think that was going to work? You cannot come into my job. How are you going to come to my job naked? Seriously?
I was going to wear a robe. I'm not going to just, walk in there naked.
No, you are not. Don't you even think about coming into my job. Who referred you? Who told you need to delete this number? Do not. I'm not about to get this job.
I just need to get my done. Okay, I don't want to go back and forth with you.
Look,
why is it a problem with you doing my? What is the problem with you doing my butt and putting some makeup on it? Now, if I need to buy you some brushes, I'll buy you some brushes, and you can take some brushes.
I don't want you to buy me anything. I don't want you coming into my job. I don't want you calling me ever again to do any kind of work.
I'm coming in there, and now listen. I
am a professional makeup artist. Clearly, you don't know what that means. So you need to go get you an
professional, then you will take out the part that's bothering you and do the job, lady. You know what I mean? If my has scars on it and I want to clear it up and I want to make
on you before I get real ignorant. I'm not about to finish this conversation. Do not come into my job. Do not call me to do your. That's not gonna happen.
So I guess it's safe to go around and let people know that Brandy is not professional because you can't do parts of the body.
My reputation is good in the streets, boo. You can't go around and tell anybody that I'm not professional. Nobody's ever called me to do their. Get some skincare for your. How about that? And then you won't need any makeup.
I know you didn't. You're not going to sit here now start talking about my. If I told you some of my deepest secrets to let you know I want to come in there and get some makeup.
Well, that's your bad for telling a stranger your deepest secrets.
Okay, you know what? I'm coming up to your store anyway on Friday, all right? And I'll talk to your boss and let them know.
Don't let it fool you, okay? You heard me. Don't come in my job. Look, if I lose my job over your foolishness, I guarantee you will be paying all my bills.
Okay, bottom line is I'm coming in there with my robe on Friday. Somebody going to do my butt. You, your manager.
Sir, you're not coming. You know what? How about you come up here right now? How about I go ahead and take care of this situation right now? I'm here now. Can you come right now?
I can come up there right now with my robe. I'm in my robe now.
Well, bring your butt up here right now. We'll see if your butt gets done. I'm not doing it.
Okay, well, the bottom line, who is your manager anyway? Where's she at? Is she there?
I am the manager. Now what?
Okay, see, that's what the damn problem is. You got yourself a little position at your job. Now you trying to throw your weight around. If a person wants to get their butt done, okay, look, didn't you see Avatar? Them people have makeup all on their butt, all on their back and everything.
How about you call them? You call them and ask them to do your butt. Don't call me. I'm hanging up. Do not call me anymore.
They are makeup artists. What are you?
Look, this conversation is over.
Yeah, it's over because you know what? Let me tell you something. Do you know who you talking to? Do you know who you talking to?
Do you know who you talking to?
I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brandy. But do Brandy know who Brandy talking to?
Clearly somebody who is ignorant.
Okay, well, let me tell you who I am. This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your girlfriend, Carmen.
You are lying. I'm getting off the phone. Why y'all do that? That is not cool. I hope nobody's listening. You just made me act real stupid.
I got you, girl. I got you
good.
You
got me good. With the butt, yeah, for real. Get you some skincare. Get some skincare to take care of them problems.
Hey, I got one more thing I got to ask you. What is the baddest, and I'm talking about the baddest radio show in the land?
Oh, the damn Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Booty makeup, anybody. Anybody need it. Huh? I didn't see my uncle naked. He know he need booty makeup, but that's all right. He don't want to talk about it. That's my uncle. Yeah.
I've never seen my uncle naked.
I done came and got him in a pool of baby oil after he done fell. Yeah.
Saying need makeup. That's just dumb. I'm a bit uncomfortable with that. That's all.
It don't sound right.
It sounds crazy, right?
Well, look, look, I got some cuts on it. Got some
You know it
marks
ain't
in there.
flawless.
I got shot in the ass one time, so that's still there. And then, when Tommy, you can't get booty makeup because
Cause what, Steve? Please,
as
please,
high as
please,
his ass is,
make me proud.
We be all
who
day
gonna put it on? Somebody, and then Tommy, you gonna have to stand on something. Cause you got a high ass, but it's short. How do you have a short high
I
ass?
don't know, Steve. I don't know.
Cause little people said they wasn't gonna do it because they don't do work like that.
All right, we gotta go. Coming up next, Miss Ann is here with our national news. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hurricane Irma was all over the place. I mean, really, she wreaked havoc everywhere she was. She was such an unpredictable storm. Irma slammed Florida with heavy rain and wind. Parts of Miami Airport flooded. Power outages. Tampa, Orlando, Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and surrounding areas, parts of Georgia, Alabama. It was hours upon hours of wind, just wind and rain, all these surges. Florida Power and Light says it could take weeks to restore power in some areas. Disney World and other Orlando area theme parks took a larger than expected. Yeah, no one expected this in Orlando. They took a larger than expected hit from the storm, but have not yet assessed all their damage, and it was a lot of it. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line say it is sending 2 ships to the Caribbean islands to help victims of the storm. That is good news. And just a reminder and a programming note here, tonight is the star-studded telethon. It's called Hand in Hand, a benefit for hurricane relief to help victims of Hurricane Harvey. It's expanding now to reach to include those affected by Hurricane Irma as well. Beyonce, Blake Shelton, Barbra Streisand, Oprah Winfrey will headline the 1-hour telethon that will be simulcast tonight on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and CMT at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and on tape delay at 8 p.m. on the West Coast, and streamlined live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The proceeds will go to a range of charities that are currently helping with relief efforts for Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma.
Did you see? I was watching the news, and they just kept showing the same looped footage of these people looting in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And how this dude had ran in and got these 5 boxes of Adidas shoes and running to get back in his car. And looked like little kids was with him, and looked like teenagers, and man, with all this going on, people loss of property, power, life, homes. Why are you, man? How you find this an opportunity to go get your ass some free shoes? They arrested 26 people in Miami for loot. I mean, man, look, you ain't, go put sandbags up at your house. What you doing? It's just, and it was such a small, minuscule, population of people.
Minuscule.
That's really not worth mentioning. But, it was just so, I'm sitting there watching the weather report, and these people are looting in this store.
And you
breaking
windows. 2 feet of water. Ain't the shoes finna get wet?
Yeah.
Dog.
There you go. There you go.
But you say, come on,
Ain't
man.
you in 2 feet of water? Ain't you? Dog, I mean, the businesses, they got enough to recover from. Now you gonna bust their windows and run in the store? I mean, man, people, they so consumed with they self.
It brings out the best and the worst of us.
When you need to be helping
does.
somebody. Right?
Sure does.
And you know what's crazy, man? This brings you no goodwill in your life. Them shoes you got, man, they ain't finna do you no good.
It's gonna cost you a whole lot more than them shoes.
Bruh.
They need
they
boots.
got you on
The hell
camera.
in with tennis shoes.
Dog.
You ain't got no rain boots. You didn't go in there and get rain
Look,
boots.
hey, man, if somebody broke in a sporting goods store to steal a boat to go save their mama, I
get you.
understand.
That makes sense, right?
Yes.
I got that.
Yeah.
You understand? Man, my mama out there and won't nobody go get her. I broke in Dix and got me a boat and 2 oars to go get my mama. I got that. Anything else, man?
It's stupid.
Yeah.
No, they wasn't stealing groceries.
Well, come on, Miss Ann is here, Steve.
Ladies
So
and
come
gentlemen, she's here, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning, everybody. This is Ann Tripp with the news. Okay, today it is tropical rainstorm Irma. Yeah, it's been downgraded a little bit. However, the storm system is still packing some winds, dropping record-setting rainfall on a number of coastal communities along the Atlantic. In fact, flooded out roads are reportedly the biggest problems in places like Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina, where record levels of rain has fallen, and now tornadoes, which often accompany hurricanes, are still a possibility. A number of counties currently under tornado warnings or watches. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in South Carolina without power. Residents, of course, being told to stay away from fallen trees and power lines. More than 8 million homes and businesses in Florida without power this morning, especially in South Carolina. Again, South Florida, rather, where crews are working to restore power as quickly as possible. But Jacksonville is dealing with severe flooding and power outages. Very, very bad up there in Jackson, Florida. The death toll from Irma now stands at 10. So far, 6 in Florida, 3 in Georgia, and 1 in South Carolina. Americans solemnly commemorated the 16th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks yesterday, the day that several terrorists hijacked 4 airliners and crashed them into the 2 World Trade Center towers, the Pentagon, and into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Nearly 3,000 innocent people died that day. President Trump honored the victims in a Washington ceremony yesterday, while Vice President Pence, who was actually inside the Capitol building on 9/11, hosted the memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
But we can never erase your pain or bring back those you lost. We can honor their sacrifice by pledging our resolve to do whatever we must to keep our people safe.
I will always believe that I and many others in our nation's capital were able to go home that day to hug our families because of the courage and selflessness of the heroes of Flight 93.
Again, Mike Pence was congressperson, and he was actually in the building that day. The state of California is suing the Trump administration over its decision to phase out the Deferred Action on Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA. DACA protects the thousands of people brought here illegally by their parents, in other words, though through no fault of their own, and keeps them from being deported. The UN Security Council voted yesterday unanimously to impose newer and tougher sanctions on North Korea over its nuclear weapons program. The penalties include banning the country's textile exports and capping imports of crude oil. And today is National Farmers Consumer Day. And about 20 minutes after the hour, Eugene the Butterfly comes back. Stay tuned to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Shut up.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, it's that time. Please introduce Jay so Jay can give the butterfly a proper introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Anthony.
Oh, do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do.
Oh my God, I love it. Good morning, everyone. Stephen, Tommy, Shirley, Carla Jr., Jay Anthony Brown.
I like that intro. Do it again, Jay. Do it again.
Oh, do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do.
You see how happy it makes the
I think I
butterfly
might keep that one all this week. I'm going to keep that.
Hey, no, the intro is way better than the segment.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Come
wow,
on.
Steve.
One more time.
Oh, do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do.
Boy, that's so good. I want to sing it with you.
Hey, get some, Steve.
Do you
wait.
know the
Wait
butterfly?
a minute.
'Cause I do.
Junior, let me hear me.
Do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do.
Sugar, let me hear
Do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do.
Carla.
Good. Do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do. Woo!
Everybody.
Do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do. How much time we got left? Not much.
Yeah.
He's taking his
1,
time.
2, 3.
Go. Do you know the butterfly? 'Cause I do. Hum it.
Hey.
You keep introing me, and I'm not
Oh, that
doing
was
anything.
good.
Okay, you guys have over intro, okay?
Well, okay. Well,
Now you always wanted a big one. There it is.
Yeah, you know, I like a big introduction, and he brought me out right, but he brought me out 13. He brought me out 13. He brought me out 13 times.
That was fun. Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah, it was
Go ahead
cute,
with that
but
little
this,
side segment.
today is a big day, Stephen. It is a 40-year anniversary since the Jerry Curl. Oh my God, Jerry Curl was 40 years ago, and you have to give a huge round of applause to the Jerry Curl, because the Jerry Curl was just off the chain. It came in the late 70s.
40
and
years ago?
40 years ago, the Jerry Curl.
You know,
So-
Atlanta bus drivers don't know this is a celebration.
They
still got it going on.
Do they even? I'm sorry. Do they still sell Jerry Curls? I didn't know.
Man.
Yeah. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, Stevie, I know you hate when I go around the room, but you have to raise your hand if you wore the Jerry Curl. Carla, did you wear the Jerry Curl?
Yes, I had one.
Shirley, the
Nope.
Jerry Curl?
Did not.
Junior boy?
Absolutely, everybody.
Tommy?
Hell yeah.
J. Anthony Brown?
Yeah, I had one.
And last but not least, Steve Harvey, did you do the Jerry Curl?
Hell no. Yeah, okay. Daddy would have killed me.
I know, my
You
mom
bring
was.
your ass up in here and what you put in your hair?
My mom was not into
My brother
it.
had rules.
All right, we gotta go. It's time for Comedy
Happy Jerry.
Roulette when we come back. All right, we'll be back at 34 after.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, it is time now for Comedy Roulette, Steve.
Here we go.
Jay,
Here we
please,
go.
please quickly set this up.
Every week, our comedy ability is tested in the way we prove how good we are. Put 5 subjects on the wheel, spin the wheel, where it stop, we got it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Comedy roulette. What you got?
All right, here are the
What you
5 subjects.
Uh-huh.
Number 1, fish grease.
Oh, yeah, we could do it. Yeah, everybody could do it.
Number 2, she wasn't that big in high school. What?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that now.
I don't appreciate that one. Okay, number 3, tastes like chicken.
Oh, everything. Yeah, that's everything.
Number 4, now that I have a little money, you know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And number 5, I don't know how you could eat that.
Give me that. Give me
Go
that.
right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
All right, let's go spin the wheel, Cat. Fish grease. Come on, fish grease. Oh, now that I have a little money, you know who I am. That's
Oh,
the
very
subject.
easy. Let me have that one. Let me start that one out.
Yeah.
See, back in the day, my nickname was Fish. Didn't nobody know fish. Didn't speak to fish.
Yeah.
You was too fine to speak to fish.
Yeah.
But now that fish is on TV.
Yeah.
Hey, fish. How you doing, fish? And I can't remember who you are.
Yeah.
What you got, Tommy?
I was out of my league. I was way out of my league. You was drop dead fine to me. I begged for it, wanted it. I used to ask for it day and night. You never gave me the time of day. But now, got a little money. I'm on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You're texting me now. Huh? I can have it if I want it. I don't want it now. I don't want it.
Yeah. I hear you, Tommy.
What you got?
Come on,
I'm
Junior.
saying, you know what? Now that I got a little money, you know who know my name now?
Who?
Bill collectors. They know exactly who they talking to now. Matter of fact, they don't even call me by my real name. That's how I know they know I got money. They say, excuse me, is Junior in? Junior. That ain't my government name. Everybody know now.
Well, this right up my alley here. Now I got a little money. Yeah, you know who I am now. Yeah, this goes out to Ike. Back in Cleveland
Yeah.
at Mr. Albert's Men's Store.
What?
Yeah, used to call me LK.
Uh-huh.
Layaway King. Yeah, now Albert and Ike, I can buy your whole damn store. So the next time I walk in, I ain't coming in layaway.
Yeah.
Feel me. Yeah. I might just buy your damn store. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Hey.
Yeah, it will.
Oh, let me put an initial out there with a last name. Just the initial and the last name. You know who you are. The last name White. Ah, you were so fine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you was fine.
Yes.
Did not even speak to me in the hallway.
Yeah.
I walked past you, I act like a slave. Cause I ain't want to look you in the eye. You was that damn fine. But oh, it has changed now. Cause Fish got a little money.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
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 Fish, yeah.
Fish.
Yeah.
Fish got a little money.
Fish got a little money.
Yeah, come on, Junior.
I tell you where everybody know my name at now. I'm a lot more familiar and welcome when I walk in the door. Bank account used to sit on $6. I hate an overdraft. But what I didn't notice, though, when I go in the bank now, there's a whole nother room. It's got vegetables in it, wine, cheeses. Oh, when I go in the bank, it's Mr. Space this away. Oh, what you standing in line for? Come on around this way. Do you have your access card? Never mind, I have mine. Oh, it's different when I go down there now.
Yeah. Wiping it for you.
Come on, Tommy.
What you got, man?
Oh, you know, I used to couldn't go to it. I didn't get invited to the big Christmas party.
Oh, no.
Cause I just, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't big enough. I didn't have a name enough. But now that I'm balling and I'm on the show and I'm the nephew, got a little money in my pocket doing a little stand-up, I don't want to go to your funky Christmas party now. I throw my own damn Christmas party at my chateau. Y'all can kiss my ass.
All right. All right, we'll be back with Nephew Tommy's prank phone call right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after today's Strawberry Letter. But first, come on, nephew, what you got for your
I
prank phone
can't
call?
believe
What? Come on,
that y'all gonna have a subject called "Now I Got a Little Money." Now you know who I am without allowing me at least 2 shots at it.
Come on, dog.
Yes.
Have decided that I'm gonna just do another.
Okay.
Come on.
Cause I think it's a well-known fact that I do have a little money.
Yeah.
It ain't even here.
And I ain't been able to tell all the people I wanted to in my past how I feel about it.
Okay, let's go. I love it.
Now, unlike Jay only does initials and last names. Annette Bills. Annette Bills.
Put it out
With
there.
the beauty mark right above her lip in the corner.
Yes.
Oh, this girl was so fine, man. I asked Annette Bills to go to the junior prom. You know what she told me that stuck with me for years?
What she say?
I don't like your facial features. How the hell do you tell a boy that you don't like his facial features?
A growing man.
It's everything on my face. That's lips, nose, eyes, lashes, brows, cheeks. I had dimples. Damn, give me something. I don't like your facial features.
What was her name again?
Annette Bibbs.
Do you hate Annette Bibbs? Cause you do.
Yeah. But now my question to Annette Bibbs is, you might not like my facial features. I got that. You could probably still feel the same way. But my checks have multiple commas in it now.
Do you hate Annette Bibbs? Cause we do.
You tell a boy that's in the 9th grade you don't like his facial features.
Dude, that's like
all I am.
That crushed you, Steve. That crushed you.
Man.
Dog, that stayed with me for a long time.
It's still with you.
No, my facial features, all of them. All of them.
But I got dimples.
I always had nice teeth.
Give it
and I always had dimples.
Give me dimples.
I don't
Dog.
like nothing.
She couldn't have
I
just
ain't never
said
had
no,
bad
huh?
teeth.
She couldn't have said no.
I always had dimples, you know. She wouldn't give me that.
Man.
That hurt me, man.
That
I
crushed
don't
you.
like your facial features. Well, I'd be damned. And she was so fine, too. I couldn't go, but well, you ugly, too. I couldn't do that. Oh, man.
All right, come on, let's get to it. Come on, nephew, what you got? Today's prank.
That ain't my brother, baby.
Ooh.
That ain't my brother's baby.
I feel like he's yelling at me, though.
I love it.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Carla. That ain't my brother's baby.
It feels like...
I'm sorry, I had a little ice cube in there, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That ain't my brother's baby.
Real cubish.
Yeah. He cubed that right on out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Don't worry about it. It's something I need to take care of. I'll talk to...
Hello?
May I speak to Terry?
This is she.
My name is Daryl. Damon is my brother. I don't live in Dallas where y'all live at. I'm the one that live out of town. But we done had a family meeting and talked about it. And I know Travis is your son. He 8 years old. But the problem is, the reason why I'm calling you, Terry, is because we done found out that Travis ain't none of Damon's child.
Excuse me?
Travis ain't none of Damon's child. He been paying you child support here for the last
Wait, hold on. And you said your name was who?
I'm Dare. I'm Damon's brother.
And who gave you this information?
We all done found the information out. We actually gonna go down there to the courthouse and get all this stuff rectified. But we done found out that Travis ain't none of Damon's child. And he been sitting up here sending you money, $700-800 a month, and this child ain't even here. Now I hate for Travis to find this out, and he gonna have to find it out. But
Wait. He ain't finna find that. Why are you calling me?
look, the family done had a meeting, and I'm the one that they decided to make the phone call and tell you what's going on. Now,
No, but you don't have a damn thing to do with this. You ain't nobody daddy over here, so I'm not sure what you're calling for or who died made you king or wanted you to be head in charge to call, but that is not gonna work out.
But why are you doing this to my brother? That's what I'm saying. For 8 years, the man been sending you $700-something a month, and this ain't even his child.
Well, you know, why am I even talking to you? I'm not really sure. Your brother need to call me if he has any problems or questions. You have a good day. Hello?
You don't hang no damn phone up on me. Damon told me your little ass was hard-headed anyway. Now, look.
Wait a minute. You know what? You got the wrong one, baby. Like, I'm trying to not lose all my religion today, but you about to make me lose it on your...
About to make me lose what?
You don't know who you with over here. So, like I said before, my son, your nephew that you trying not to claim over there, I don't know why you came from wherever the hell you said you came from to Dallas to try to start some mess.
I came from California down here to Dallas, and I'm telling
you... You need to take your black come back to California because down here, you don't know me like that.
No, I don't know you, but I'm finna know you, and Travis finna know that my brother ain't his daddy.
I don't know. You know what? You need to talk to your brother again. That's what you need to do, and you don't need to be talking to me.
You finna send us all the money my brother done sent y'all.
And when I do,
look,
when I send all that 8 years worth of money back.
You gonna send every dime back because it belonged to my brother. That ain't my brother's child. Now, we ain't got time to be going on no Maury Povich show or nothing to find out who the daddy.
You know what? Like I said, you picked the wrong one. It'd be your best bet not to call me anymore. It is a good thing that you call, because if you came knocking on my door, you'd have got your with today.
No, that's my second thing I'm finna do if we can't rectify it over the phone. I don't have a problem coming over there, knocking down some doors and getting some questions answered. Because, damn it, this ain't Damon's baby.
Obviously, you must wish it was yours since you taking so much interest.
No, it ain't mine. But it ain't Damon's either. And we got
You
700.
must not have any and looking for some. But I'm sorry. This one's taken over here, and Damon will continue to pay what he owes.
Damon don't owe
another... That's what's wrong with you brothers now. You don't want to pay. I'm sorry. He's going to continue to pay, and you can call whoever you want to call him, do whatever you want to do. So go back and tell your mama and everybody else who waiting for this meeting to let them know. It ain't happening.
Look, my mama ain't got nothing to do with it. Mama been...
You said your mama and all y'all got together. She the same way. I see where you get it from. You're just like her. Y'all some nosy people. Mind y'all damn business. That's a grown man.
That ain't... My mama said it from the get-go that it wasn't her, it wasn't Damon's child.
Nah, that means your mama's a two-faced lie because you ain't what your mama said.
You ain't finna sit here and bring my mama up in this?
Well, if you know so much, then you better come knock on my door. Come knock on my door if you want to.
We done the math. $750 times 12, then times 8 is $72,000. That's how much money my brother done sent you, and that's how much we want back. And I need you to get to working on this money now.
Okay. Why don't you come over here and get it?
Don't get your whoop today, Terry.
Come on over here. You gonna see who get that whoop. You in Dallas.
I don't care nothing about I'm in no Dallas.
This ain't California.
So what?
I don't even know what the hell. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you. Like I said, your brother is weak. If he got to have y'all had a meeting and you got to be the one to call, I'm not really understanding.
Look, I got one more thing I need to say to you. Is you listening to me?
You know, you getting on my damn nerves. That's what you're doing.
You respect me. Are you listening to me?
You what?
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked.
Oh, my God.
You just got pranked by your sister Tanya, baby.
You know what?
She say, talk to her about her baby daddy and that baby.
Yeah, I don't play with the children. Oh, my God. I'm so embarrassed.
All right, let me ask you this. What is the baddest? I'm talking about the baddest radio show in the land.
The Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, just want to make sure everybody understand now. That ain't my brother, baby.
All right, coming up next, today's Strawberry Letter. Wow, and it's a crazy one, as always. We'll be back right after this. Are you sick of being embarrassed by thinning hair or tired of worrying about your thin edges? Then you need the Vitalize Hair Regrowth System. I can tell you from my own experience, Vitalize works. The ingredients in Vitalize are clinically proven to give you thicker, fuller hair and regrow those edges. So I want you to go to thinedges.com right now or call 800-800-7577. Money back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose but those thin edges, family. Go to thinedges.com or call 800-800-7577. 800-800-7577.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Today's Strawberry Letter is up next, and it's a good one, of course. But first, today, Hurricane Irma wreaked havoc and battered Florida. Winds were clocked as high as 142 miles per hour, and storm surges brought flooding in some areas, leaving forecasters to predict Irma will land in the record books as one of Florida's worst storms. I think you have no argument there. We've made our mission to help our neighbors in Florida rebuild and get back to normalcy there. If you want to help make a donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org, or text Irma to the numbers 90999. That's Irma to the number 90999. Please make sure you watch the Hand in Hand star-studded telethon to help victims of Hurricane Harvey and now Hurricane Irma. That is tonight. Beyonce, Blake Shelton, Barbara Streisand, and Oprah Winfrey will headline the one-hour telethon. It'll be simulcast on ABC, on CBS, NBC, Fox, and CMT, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, and on tape delay in the West, where we are on the West Coast, 8 p.m. Streamlined. You can go to Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook if you want to see it streamlined live. So there you go.
So yesterday, we saw some unbelievable pictures on camera and TV. And did you see how the water was away from the shore?
Yeah.
Did you see that, Steve? And then it pulled the ocean and the water away from even Tampa Bay and
Yeah,
in the
you know,
Bahamas.
what happens is, and this I learned this just the other day. I watched the Weather Channel. The swirl of the hurricane, when it comes inland, it goes in a circle, right? Well, when it comes over land, when it, let's like this one was turning counterclockwise.
Right.
Irma was swirling counterclockwise, right? So when it comes over land, counterclockwise is back out to sea. So it pushes from the wind of the hurricane, it pushes the water out to sea. So if you like at tide, high tide, it pushes it out. So water levels were dropping 3, 4, 5 feet from what it would normally be. 3, 4, 5 feet of water is now missing because it's pushed out to sea.
So it sucks everything out.
It actually blows us out in the swirl.
Kind of like being in divorce court.
Yeah.
Sucks everything out.
Yes.
That's what you compared it
Then,
Yeah.
Really, Jay?
then when the hurricane subside, that water got to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are those surges.
It's like when God blesses you, get everything back.
Yeah.
First you go to court and suck everything
The
out.
hurricane.
The hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you work on yourself.
Yeah.
God give it all back.
Then
to
here
you.
come the surge.
What?
If you
You
have
get
to
it back.
compare it to something, Jay. Yeah.
But if that's what he wants to do.
Right.
That was a phenomenon right there.
You know, more people watch the weather. It beat NFL football. More people were watching the Weather Channel than any time ever, man.
Yeah.
We're locked in on the weather.
Wow. All right, Tommy, let's go.
Buckle up.
Letter.
Hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, major dilemma. Good morning, Steve Harvey and crew. I am writing because I am having a major dilemma. My husband and I have been together for about 11 years and have 2 children. We are currently separated and have been going through some things. For the last few years, we have been on and off again. We can't seem to get along, and there is a lack of communication. We have been through everything except pregnancies outside the marriage on both parts. At the present time, we live in two separate households and have been separated since January. We recently talked and know that we love each other and want to be together. We also know that we need help getting past some of our issues. We decided that we want to be back together, but now the problem is the living arrangement. He currently lives in the house his grandparents own. I live in the apartment we started a one-year lease on in September. He wants to move into the house. I, however, do not. The reason I refuse to is because of the location of the house. It is not in the greatest part of the city, and the outbreak of violence in this area of town is outstanding. I am not too crazy about the house, and the schools in the area suck, to say the least. Our children are currently in a great school district, and the environment is not overcome with violence. He and I have both lived within the city where the house is, and we hated it. That is why we moved. So now he wants to live in the house, and I refuse to. I would much rather keep our children in the environment they are in and get a home of our own. He dents now. I don't get that. He dents now. Yeah, I don't know. This has kept us from getting back together. So what should we do? We have no money to move and put our boys in better schools where the house is located, and the house needs repairs, which at this time we cannot afford. So what advice do you have for us? How can we get past this, reaching a compromise that suits us both? Mind you, we currently have an apartment where there is a lease until August, and it makes no sense to pay rent in two places. Please help us with this. Sincerely, Major Dilemma. Dear Major Dilemma, this is a major dilemma because in order for this marriage to work, you guys do need to be together. You know, it seems to me your husband would want to move in the better part of the city where you and the kids would be safe, happy, and the kids well educated. He doesn't even own the home where he lives. The apartment, while you guys don't own, you don't own that either. You at least wouldn't be living under your grandparents' rule, and you won't lose your deposit, okay? Which money is kind of tight right now, so you seem to be really concerned about that. You don't give us any information as to why he's so adamant about living there, though, because the rent isn't even free. So I don't really think he wants to get back together right now because he's not doing what it takes. And that means, making you happy, moving into a safe, secure home or apartment of your own. You know the saying, happy wife, happy life. In order for you guys to compromise or to come to a compromise, you have to meet each other halfway. You guys aren't doing that. You're at an impasse. You refuse to move. He's refusing to move. So until you guys, give on that, and I think it should be the husband in this point, just given your letter, it's safer and the kids go to a good school, I think he should move into your apartment. Steve?
How much time I got?
You don't have a lot of time right now. You can come back.
Okay, then
though.
I'm going to hold my ass when I come back. I see something totally different in this letter.
Okay.
I see something totally different. I agree with what you said, though, Shirley. I really do. But I see some more stuff in this letter that's going on. I'm going to point out a couple of things that I saw when you was reading it. And,
yeah, okay.
Take your time, brother.
Hey, listen, the letter is posted.
I'm trying, Tommy.
If you want to comment on the letter, it's posted. Go to steveharvey.com, click on the Strawberry Letter. You can also email us your Strawberry Letter issues on the website. We'll be back with Steve's answer right after this, 12 after.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, come on, Steve, with part 2 of your response to today's letter.
Major dilemma. Good morning, Steve Harvey and crew. I'm writing because I have a major dilemma. My husband and I have been together for 11 years and have 2 children. We're currently separated and been going through some things. For the last few years, we've been on again, off again. We can't seem to get along, and there's a lack of communication. We've been through everything except pregnancies outside the marriage on both parts. At the present time, we live in 2 separate households and have been separated since January. We recently talked and know that we love each other and want to be together. We also know we need help getting past some of our issues. We decided that we want to be back together, but now the problem is a living arrangement. He currently lives in the house his grandparents own. I live in the apartment we started a 1-year lease on in September. He wants to move into the house. I, however, do not. The reason I refuse to is because of the location of the house. It's not in the greatest part of the city. An outbreak of violence in this area of town is outstanding. I am not too crazy about the house, and the school is in the area, and the schools in the area suck, to say the least. Our children are currently in a great school district, and the environment is not overcome with violence. He and I both live within the city where the house is, and we hated it, and that's why we moved. So now he wants to live in the house, and I refuse to. I would much rather keep our children in the environment they are in and get a home of our own. I don't know what it means when he says he's dense now. This has kept us from getting back together. So what should we do? We have no money to move and to put our boys in better schools where the house is located. House needs repairs, which at this time we cannot afford. So what advice do you have for us? How can we get past this, reaching a compromise that suits us both? Mind you, we currently have an apartment where the lease is until August, and it makes no sense to pay rent in two places. Please help us with this sincerely major dilemma. First of all, you have the major dilemma placed in the wrong area. Your major dilemma, you claim, is you don't want to pay rent in two places. He refuses to move into the apartment. You refuse to move into the house. That's not your major dilemma. Your major dilemma is the very reason that y'all ain't together in the first place. Y'all two don't get along, and you two have a lack of communication. And you're demonstrating the same thing that you say broke you up. You can't seem to get along, and there's a lack of communication. This, again, is another example of you all's lack of communication. It is a lack of understanding and is the unwillingness on either one of your part to compromise. Now, Shirley's right. It seems like the smart move would be for the guy to move into the apartment so the kids could keep going to the best school system. But he ain't willing to do that. And then you ain't willing to move. You all have a major dilemma, and you all still have a communication problem. Now, you say in the letter that we've gone through everything except pregnancies outside the marriage, parentheses, on both parts. This means that both of y'all have cheated. That's what that means. On both parts. That means both of y'all been cheating. That's the code that I see in there. Because I've never heard that before. We've been through everything except pregnancies outside the marriage, parentheses, on both parts. What you all need to work on, really, is your basic selves and your marriage skills. Because right now, y'all don't seem to have none. You want what you want, and he want what he want. And now ain't neither one of y'all willing to give in. Now, you done wrote this letter in, and your letter really ain't for a compromise. Your letter is really, how do you convince this man to move back into this apartment? Because nothing you've said about moving into the grandmama's house is going to work for you. But you are convinced that staying in the one-year leased apartment will work for you and the kids. Now, it seems in the letter, like Shirley said, that this would be the best thing to do. But guess what? He ain't trying to hear that. And you ain't trying to move. Thus, you have a lack of communication. And now, what is y'all's marriage going to be built on? When you get back together, what y'all going to do? See, y'all need to work on that part of it right now. Y'all can't even agree when you separated, and you can't agree when you married. So now, when y'all gonna get back together and do what? Disagree some more. See, your major dilemma ain't where you gonna live. Your major dilemma is really how you all can live together. That's your major dilemma. How your man don't see these kids' needs, how you don't see your man's needs, how both of y'all don't see anybody's needs. And this is a ridiculous statement that you're making to me.
Selfish.
Both of y'all.
Deadlocked. They're at an impasse, you know.
And, so what advice do you have for us? Get y'all selves together. Why do y'all even want to be together?
Right there.
There's nothing in this. There's nothing in this letter that says you two people should be together. Nothing. You wrote nothing in here. All you said was this one line in there is that we love each other and we want to be together. Okay. Wow.
Without compromise.
You can't tell, huh? Y'all want to be together?
I swear to you, I can't tell. And so when I read a letter like this, man, I just go, wow, y'all only been together 11 years. Y'all done went through so much stuff. Now, you can't afford to move. You ain't got the money for repairs. You ain't got the money for 2 rents.
And she refuses to, and so does he, to move.
So what you want me and Shirley to say? We don't know how to get y'all together.
All right, Steve, we got to go. Please email us or Instagram us your thoughts on today's Strawberry Letter at My Girl Shirley. And please don't forget this Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Facebook Live, the Strawberry Live After Show with me. It's going to be fun. Thanks to everyone who's joined us. And we've had fun, great conversation. So thank you so very much. And as we switch gears now, a new survey. It is sponsored by Airbnb. They're trying to figure out the ages when men are supposedly the most and least boring, okay? The survey results suggest that men reach their peak of being boring around the age of 39. And then men are most interesting at the age of 27. Really? It's not all but...
That was stupid.
Yeah.
You're still stupid.
Hey, that caller.
Nothing has changed decade after decade.
Right.
Well, I'm a more
And we're
mature
waiting.
stupidity. I have control of my stupidity now.
Coming up next at 41 after the hour, we've been waiting for this. Junior has another poem.
I ain't
Grace
been
us
waiting.
with.
You ain't been waiting?
You ain't been waiting up?
I've been waiting, man.
You ain't been waiting up?
Yeah.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
We've made it our mission to help our neighbors in Florida, as we've been mentioning all morning and all through these storms. We want to help them rebuild and to get back to normalcy. If you want to make a donation yourself, please go to redcross.org or text Irma to 90999. That's the word Irma to 90999. And we thank you so much for what you've done so far. All right, Steve, Junior is here with another poem, so please introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this. Obviously, everybody's been waiting on but me. Junior has another poem. They don't rhyme or nothing. I don't know what they poems. Let's go, Junior.
Well, actually, these are limericks. And let me tell you something. See,
They what?
limericks.
Ain't that a candy?
Oh, licorice.
Licorice? That's lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well, so
lemonade.
you have limericks.
I have limericks because, like we was talking about the show dedicated to haters.
Uh-huh.
And what better way to express yourself to haters than a limerick?
You got hater limericks?
Yeah, I got hater limericks.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is for the dude called yesterday.
Uh-huh.
To all of those who just like to hate, guess what? The Steve Show is great. So go ahead and whine, because you'll be left behind. That bad taste is our dust you just ate.
I like that.
Ooh, bam, there it is. I just did that.
That?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was it?
Okay, do it again.
Okay, this is, we got the Steve Show.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Like the fact that he has to do it again.
There it is.
Is the reason why you wasn't waiting on the
Yeah.
Well, here you
Because
go.
you ain't got to wait on it, because you can
weren't
just hang
waiting on
around. You're going to have to do them to him.
To-
Come on, Junior.
Don't let him
Here we go. I'm not gonna let him crush me,
Don't let
Jay.
him crush you, man.
Your
To
spirit.
all of those who just like to hate,
Uh-huh.
guess what? The Steve Show is great. So go ahead and whine, because you've been left behind. That bad taste is our dust you just ate.
I like
Bam!
that. You don't like that, Steve?
That makes most sense to
You
me.
don't really? I mean, he's talking about the Steve Show. You know,
He don't
we were
get it.
talking about haters. You know,
Yeah.
Okay, well, he go
dedicated the entire
Give
show
me
to
that.
haters.
And that's
you gotta
a
know.
limerick. What is it called?
A limerick.
Yeah, it's
A
limerick.
limerick.
So haters, see if we give a damn. We here every day and we jam. Uncle Steve and the crew doing what we do, because this middle finger is for you.
you don't like
Bam.
Whoa.
You're hard to please,
Bam.
man.
You can shoot the bird on the radio?
I didn't say it, I just...
We wait all week for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give him
You
another
got 7 days.
Give him
Yeah,
another.
here you
Give
go.
him another.
This is for haters
He
now.
talked about haters.
This
and
is
what
haters,
now
Jay.
he hating.
And the limericks is every Tuesday.
The what?
The
Hey,
limericks,
boy,
they every
hey,
Tuesday.
boy, look how, you can't even think this deep. This deep.
Oh,
Okay,
Damn, you can't.
here we go.
You got another one?
Oh, you don't like us? Well, see if we can. Because this show is heard everywhere, from east to the west. Oh, yes, we the best. You wasting your hate, because we don't even care.
I like that.
Oh,
Bam.
that's for Tom right there.
boom,
Yeah,
drop the
bam.
mic.
I know a limerick for Tom when I hear it. I know that.
Do the last one on. Look at
Oh,
the
you
thought
got
process
another
happening
one.
now.
Mm. Okay.
All right, I'm going to do the last one as Junior.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. Got it coming for you.
Can't even tell the difference.
I know you can't.
Is that Junior or Steve?
There once was some people who hate. The Steve Show just cause it's great. Talk about us real bad, but it don't make us sad. We're just getting started. Just wait.
What?
Bam. How you like that?
Championship team.
Either voice
That right there,
is good.
championship team right there.
Championship team.
That championship team.
I love it. I love it.
Championship team. It's just for haters, that's all. So haters. So haters, I'm talking to you, pay attention.
I can't tell who's talking. Oh my God.
So haters, see if we give a damn. We here every day and we jam. Uncle Steve and the crew doing what we do, cause this middle finger is for you.
That had to be Junior right there because he said it with so much.
That was.
No, can't nobody out feeling That's one thing. Ain't nobody out feeling
Oh, so that was you, Steve?
Ain't happen. Yeah,
That's amazing how he
He put time in, man.
a week.
He put that time
A
in.
week.
Time was put in.
Yeah. And you got to take into account, too, I'm just starting my poetry career.
We have to take that into account.
This ain't like you've been doing this for a long
you
time.
judging on the wrong curve.
So Junior, you just
slow
woke up
that
one
down
day.
some.
You just woke up one day and said,
Well, sure, I'm
gonna
gonna
write
talk
some
about
poetry.
diversifying yourself. I'm trying to create another stream of revenue. And I'm trying to see if these poets will let me in.
Poems and Limericks by Junior.
Yeah, and it's a book that I can make and sell this. That's probably about $40, $50.
That's what you go
Wait a
with
minute,
it.
for how many books you get for that?
Just 10? $10 a piece. Ain't that the going rate for poetry books? That's got to be the going rate, Jay.
well, I applaud you, Junior,
I
for
like the
trying
effort.
something new.
Yeah, I'm trying something new.
Yeah. Why all this hate?
Yeah.
All he did was try something new.
That's all I was doing.
It's okay. It's all right, Junior. It's
You
all
did
right,
good.
baby. It's all right.
Shirley, come. I know y'all patronize me. I ain't crazy.
Don't patronize a grown ass man.
No, don't. In the
Don't
words
do
of
that.
Erica Badu, I'm an artist.
I'm sensitive.
You sensitive.
Sensitive, yes.
And you sensitive about your work.
Yes, Junior. Come on with it.
That's my girl.
Speaking
Love
of
her.
the show, the Steve Talk Show, we got to remind everybody, Steve.
Steve, who's on the show?
It's getting good. A lot of people gonna be on the show this week. What would really excite the audience here, P. Diddy will be on the show this week.
Oh, man.
Martin Lawrence will be
Yeah.
on the show this week.
That's big, Steve.
Martin.
Did you just black out? I heard that.
Yeah, I did. Trying to think of these names.
And not with
We
you.
need to go. I need to talk.
That sound like a let me grab you right up under the elbow right there. Can I talk?
Oh, you call that lady now.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we go. Tonight is the Hand in Hand Telethon. Don't forget, people, tonight is the night. It's the telethon Hand in Hand. It's a benefit for hurricane relief. It airs tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, across all of the major networks and streamed live on social media. And don't forget that if you want to help, please watch it, and they'll tell you how. Well, Steve, with everything going on, of course, it is New York Fashion Week. And, you being so into fashion as you are, this is according to Vogue now. Tiana Taylor put personality in the Philip Plein Spring Collection 2018 fashion show. Tiana Taylor has the body. Philip Plein has the fashions.
That Tiana is bad.
Yeah, her body. Her body. Man. She brought the crowd to its feet with her mesmerizing interpretation of a runway strut. Rihanna didn't walk into New York Fashion Week. She rode through it, okay, literally. Rihanna, she's such a fashionista. She kicked off her Fenty Puma 2018 spring-summer collection on Sunday with motocross bicycles flying high in the air, ascending above a dreamy display of powder pink mountains and sand. Rihanna rode on the back of the bike in true rock star form with one hand displaying the sign of the horns and the tongue sticking out, Steve. She had
Oh,
that
I'm
tongue.
looking
Did
at
you
it.
see that? I saw
I'm
that.
looking
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
You looking at
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And Steve, your daughter Lori was there. She looked beautiful. I saw her on social media.
Yeah, she did.
Uh-huh.
The same. Tiana and her friends. She did a thing with Philip Klein. Whatever is that his name?
Philip Klein.
She wore some of his clothes. She was picked to wear. So she's got a little thing she's doing. You know, she's doing well.
Yeah,
Very proud.
congratulations. Yeah. So let's get some fall fashion tips from you, Steve. And then Jay, of course, because you used to be a tailor. So I want to hear from
But
both
he
of you
couldn't make
guys.
pockets, though.
I know. But
Well, what do you want to know, first of all, Shirley?
well, like fashion tips for men. Like, what are some fall colors? How are suits, ties? You know, you're into
Well,
that.
fashion
Shoes.
colors, they're going a little bit more muted this year for men.
Mhm.
You know, but men, we don't have a wide range of things. It's nowhere near the variety of what women do. So, you know, your more muted colors, tone on tones are very big right now. I always go with a pop of color. I think a pop of color throws you a little separately, but a lot of black on black on black, gray on gray, blue on blue. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. That's always appropriate. You know, what I had on at the fight.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of it, you know.
Burgundy and
call
black?
that ice funk burgundy.
That ain't regular burgundy?
No, that's ice funk burgundy. And then you come in, and then on Def Jam, I wore pimp tea. Pimp tea for turquoise. I wore pimp turquoise. That, and I had on a Hermes turquoise and white and gray shirt, and you know, just splash of white, like a spider web cutting through it. So, you know, for men, it's always that. I recommend men step up your game this year. Every man should have a couple of jackets in his wardrobe. Please don't overlook that, fellas. Just ironing your shirt and putting it on with some pants is oftentimes not enough. I know they may be dressing up to you, but your lady would really appreciate it if you had a jacket on occasionally. So just you should have 2 jackets in your wardrobe.
Yeah, I just have one suggestion, Stephen. We wore these styles. It's just time to put the long ass jacket with all the buttons on it away.
I have to agree.
With the wide leg,
I have to take
with the 2.5.
responsibility.
Yeah, because you started.
I started
It's a lot of that still out there.
You know,
It's still out there.
with the square toe shoes.
The little boy on Saturday Night Live, though, he's still wearing them on.
I had to bear
If
responsibility.
you got
for
more
that.
than 7 buttons on your jacket,
It was so mean, though.
so mean.
As much as I dread to look at them,
Yeah,
boy, they showed a clip, man.
You're tearing
At
up
the
a little
Def
bit,
Jam
Steve.
reunion, I almost threw up. I had on a
What did
coat
you
so
wear?
long, pants were so wide, it was fitting me, but you know, I just really. Those days are gone. I'm sorry I introduced them.
you did.
If you got a vent in the back of your jacket and it's a sport coat, it really need to get it closed up.
Close that up.
Yeah.
If you can cut out the bottom of your jacket and make another jacket.
Yeah. Or if you can take your suit coat and put a fur coat on it and put a fur collar on it and it looks like a winter coat, you got to let it go.
Gotta go.
And so that is true. So fellas, I hate to tell you that, but those days are done. I've been doing that for some years now, you know.
All the pockets, you don't need 4 pockets in the front.
That's a Tayon suit.
You don't.
Tayon did that.
Boy, you
Pockets
wear that
with
Tayon.
buttons and straps on.
On the shoulder? Who
Where's
made
your,
that jacket?
where's your pocket going? Why does it have to
I
be
see it a
strapped
lot on
down?
Family Feud.
Why
They
does it have
come
to
to
be
pay
strapped?
homage to me.
Oh, yeah.
They come to pay homage.
And it just
And they go, Steve, I got one of you, man.
I wore this for you. I got my Steve Harvey suit. We don't make those anymore, and we haven't made that suit for years. And I still wear wide lapels, but it's on a trim cut suit.
Oh, okay.
I like the Tom Ford flab. The suit warehouse has great suits. Burlington has great. Kohl's has great
Hey, man,
suits.
Burlington
where you
has
can
a
get
great
a
suit.
really good look for the
You wearing a
money.
narrow leg now, dog?
Not so skinny, but narrow.
Yeah, mine kind of. What I had on last night was narrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Not with cuffs your ankle. That's too thin. That's like a sock. You know,
wearing that.
A pant
For
sock.
fellas, if you're gonna wear skinny jeans, you have to be skinny. That's rule number one. You can't be fat nowhere. You can't have a gut and have on skinny jeans, because now you look like an ice cream cone.
You done got on both your knees to put your pants on.
Yeah, you look like a waffle cone, a spear-tipped waffle cone.
And big guys, you know that jacket is too tight sometimes. When that button is crying, it's too tight, okay?
Okay, thank you guys for these fashion tips. We have to go. We'll be back at 9:20.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, they've crossed party lines to come together. 5 living U.S. presidents have joined forces to raise money for Hurricane Harvey victims. The campaign is called One America Appeal. Ex-President George W. Bush, a resident of Dallas, says in the PSA, people are hurting down here. But as one Texan put it, we've got more love in Texas than water. As the country is going through one of the most divisive periods in history, the campaign is a rare showing of unity in U.S. politics. Donald Trump, who has frequently criticized his predecessors, even endorsed the effort with, what else? A tweet. Trump told Thursday night, he wrote, I'm proud to stand with presidents for hashtag One America Appeal. Well, Steve, this is the kind of unity we need to make America great again. Maybe Trump is changing his tune. He shocked Republicans the other day when he sided with the Democrats on a temporary fix for the debt ceiling. The president also thanked FEMA and the U.S. Coast Guard for their amazing work right in the middle of the storm. He's calling the storm a big monster. You know that, as everyone is. He's adding that it's the largest storm to hit Florida in years. Trump says he's not concerned about the costs, but rather is focusing on saving lives. So there you go. He gave a really great speech for 9/11.
I was listening to the speech of 9/11. I watched. He has to work on his out loud reading.
Yeah.
He's really got to sit in a room and practice reading the teleprompter.
Why do you say that, Steve?
Because he doesn't do a good job of that. He sounds so scripted and read.
Mm-hmm.
And, because when he's being Donald Trump, even though that's not good sometimes.
We really don't like that sometimes.
But when he's just reading, it just sounds so un-Donald Trump.
He's saying stuff he doesn't want to say anyway.
That's
emotional.
what it really sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
He's telling these stories of courage, but he didn't really know the story himself.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's from his heart.
No, man, he has to
natural.
study this stuff. And if you read it 4 or 5 times in front of the mirror, then you can own it. He's got to do that, man. He's walking out there cold, trying to read these things, this guy.
He sounds very monotone.
And he was in waist deep.
Right.
Yeah. Listen to this is what he did this morning. This guy is such a hero, right? He runs into this building. He's in waist deep water and he's hearing voices. And he runs back and he gets a voice. And then he goes back in because he continues to hear the voices. I mean, this guy, he's great, right? And he's walking through and I'm going, dude, get your speech and read it on the plane 3-4 times so you can own this stuff, man. Because I don't like criticizing anybody for everything. But come on, man.
But it was good what he was saying, though. His delivery, yeah.
The delivery.
The words are great, but
yeah.
He doesn't read teleprompter well at all, man.
Yeah, and coming after Obama, and Obama was so great, and Clinton was so great at it,
But look, man, they read the teleprompter. I know the teleprompter is glass, where they can look right and left like they look at people. I got that. Those words in the glass. We all know what that is. But it's okay.
It's like you saying.
But they should sound like they're your words.
Yeah.
Well, his words is extraordinary. Yeah. It's going to be very extraordinary, folks. Really extraordinary.
Big league.
Big league. Really big league.
Great things are going to happen. Great things.
Yeah. Superlative.
So he's done the past couple of things that's been right. But, as soon as it's over, I just think we're going to get on.
Well, that's 100 to 2. So,
yeah.
If you're keeping
What's the
score.
score?
Yeah.
Two damn things right.
It's 100 to 2.
Yeah, and Doc, this is we're in the first quarter. It was 100 to 2. The chance of him coming back is low.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, when the Def Jam thing, I'm still thinking about that. I can't wait till that
Was my
airs.
clip on
Yeah,
there, Steve?
25
Man,
years.
J. Anthony Brown's clip, man, they showed this fool doing this activator for Jerry Curl,
His
squirting it out. The reaction in the theater was nuts. The reaction to the crowd that was watching it was more nuts. They was hollering, man. They was hollering. J. Anthony Brown, you should have been there, man. You would have really felt good about what you had done, man, because Def Jam, it was such a tribute to so many people, man.
I know it changed your life. Didn't it change your life?
Oh, dog.
Mitch Green, baby. Mitch
it was
Green.
crazy for me, man.
It was stupid.
What Def Jam did.
The first year of comics that came out of Def Jam, it was unbelievable.
Hey, man, let me tell you what I did. I was able to go back to comedy clubs that I was making $1,500 a weekend, and boy, I could start clocking some dollars.
Yeah.
Man. I started doing
It went up
door deals.
instantly like that?
Yeah, I started doing door deals. But see, the Def Jam tour came out, and back then, now this is back then, these guys was getting $7,500 a night to perform. And that was out of the question back then. $7,500 a night to perform on the Def Jam tour.
Wow. But it
I never
changed our
did the
lives,
Def
too.
Jam tour.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Because I never did the Def Jam tour. Because I didn't want to. Because I wanted to go back to the comedy clubs with my Def Jam tape. And that got me in all the clubs. And then Black started coming out to comedy clubs in record numbers.
Yep.
And so now, I was, instead of doing the $7,500 a night, I was doing door deals. So I was doing 10 shows a weekend, 11 shows. I've done 13 shows from Thursday to Sunday night.
Always the
I used to do
business
3-4
part.
shows a night. But I was doing dough deals because I wanted to hustle harder. So I would perform more. But man, Steve, why you work so hard? Man, we getting $7,500 a night. Yeah, but I'm taking home $30,000 for the weekend.
I'm gonna say this once, and I'll say it again. Had not it been for black comedy to come along with Def Jam, some of these comedy clubs, and you know who you are, y'all would be out of business today. Today,
Listen
out of
to me.
business.
I got news for you.
Out.
A lot of white clubs would be out of business.
Out.
Because blacks
Right
were
now.
coming out in such droves.
They
on
didn't even
the
know it was an
weekends.
audience. It was an audience they didn't even advertise.
You guys
never
changed our
approached
lives too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you. It changed your lives, but we, as as the audience and people watching
go
at
to club and see
home,
all black
we
comics.
plan our lives around Def Jam on Friday nights. What?
Yes, we
10 o'clock.
did.
Yes, we did.
Friday at 11 o'clock, I'm in front of the TV at 14.
Yes.
Doing all
loved
the
it.
jokes Monday morning. As soon as I get to school.
We had never seen anything like it.
You've never seen black comics
No.
in the raw element. You've never seen that
Yeah.
until Def Jam came along.
It was
Like these
amazing.
white clubs, like, where did these black comedians come from?
And Def Jam got rid of people. They got rid of a lot of comics, man.
What do you
They
mean?
weeded it out, you mean?
They went through a lot because if you wasn't good, man, they compared. Martin was there every night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now you come out there half stepping if you want to.
Yeah.
Martin was there every night.
He saw it all.
And so, when you didn't do good,
Martin
here
coming
come
back
Martin.
out. Yeah.
Martin coming back out here, man. And this dude right here had his job to do.
Wow.
And it was to get laughs, and he got them.
It helped Martin when people bombed. It really did.
All right, we'll be back. We have more. We'll be back to close out the show with just one more thing.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
The Star-Studded Telethon is tonight. Don't forget, we've been mentioning it all morning. It's to help the victims of Hurricane Harvey and Irma. Organizers, including rapper Bun B, said in a statement, "We are prepared to help in any way we can." Beyonce is going to be there. Blake Shelton, Barbara Streisand, and, of course, Oprah. They're going to headline the one-hour telethon. It will be simulcast on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and CMT at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. And on tape delay at 8 p.m. on the West Coast and streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I think we'll be watching tonight for sure, to see what they're going to do.
Watch and see what who gonna do.
Just to see. how much money they're going to raise and everything.
Well, I'm just going to donate. I'm going to donate.
What the people are saying, and just everything. I love it when stars get together and do things like this. Just come on, see them. Yeah, to see them in a different habitat, see them differently than you normally see them. So, yeah, we'll be watching for sure.
Yeah, just watch and donate.
Mm-hmm. And donate and help.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's call in and see who we going to get.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What if I called in and Morgan Freeman picked up the phone?
Hello, Shirley.
Hello, Morgan.
How are you doing right now?
Morgan, is this you? Oh, my God.
Would you like to make a donation?
Yes,
Shirley?
I would.
I first met Shirley.
Oh, my God. And then I could watch it on TV. Oh, my God. That would be the highlight of my
Can I
life.
just ask the
Shirley,
question?
would you like to
Do
go
me.
out on a date with
Is
me?
this Morgan Freeman thing real or is this a joke?
What do you mean?
No,
Shirley,
it's real.
Shirley.
Okay, well, let me ask you something, Jay. Is your white woman thing
A white
real
woman's
or
very
is
real.
it a
Please,
joke?
It's very real.
Okay.
It's very real.
Yeah, so,
It's very real.
so Morgan Freeman is very real. Thank
Oh, okay, I
you.
was just asking. I ain't know. I ain't
Shirley,
know.
I kind of got one like that, though.
What you got?
Oh, yeah, he does. Ask him. Ask
Y'all
him,
gonna
Jay.
laugh at me. Y'all
No, I
gonna-
know
Who's
it
it,
is, right?
I don't think you. Judge Judy.
Oh, I
She
thought it
wouldn't
was
even look
what
at
now?
your broke ass.
I thought it was Ellen. You dumped Ellen for Judge Judy?
7
I went older.
million
I went
a
older.
year.
She wouldn't even look at your broke ass.
A year.
Now, let me just get on into the finance of it. You quit looking at Judge Judy.
Nah.
I love her, Tommy.
I like me some Judge Judy, man.
Judge
I don't
Judy.
know
Who's
why.
I'm just shocked because for so long it's been Ellen.
Yeah, I went
Well,
older.
and
Shirley.
you think Ellen got money.
Judge Judy.
Yes. And she don't even know you exist.
Okay, let's go down the list.
And let me tell you another reason you can't get to Ellen. Because the chick she got way finer than you. Let's just go there.
That is her wife.
I've seen Portia, and she way, way finer than you. You think? Your little ugly shot. You think?
To Ellen?
Have you seen to me?
I ain't got a shot.
Okay, let's go down the list. If we weren't married, come on, Carl. If you weren't married, who would be your fantasy person?
Who can get it?
Movie star, yeah.
Idris.
Okay, good.
Why you
Good
saying
call.
like
You ain't gonna do is be growling.
What's up,
Who
Todd?
said if she wasn't married? Yeah. Come on, Junior.
Mine?
Uh-huh.
Oh, all day long. Everybody know I'm Beyonce all day.
Oh, Beyonce all day.
Beyonce.
Houston to Houston. Okay.
That's
What?
right.
All right. Come on, Jay.
Oh, I'm AOW. AOW.
Who's that? Who's that?
Anyone white.
Boy, he's so damn.
He's so ignorant. All right, Steve. Come on. If you weren't married,
You better talk some Tommy.
if you weren't married to
You
Marjorie.
can't play this game.
You talking about me? You didn't skip Tommy. You.
No, Tommy said
Tommy don't want no
said
Judge Judy. Let's get real.
I said
Come on.
Morgan Freeman.
Come on, let's get real. And you ain't getting no Morgan Freeman. Let's get real.
Okay, I got it for you.
You can't get Morgan Freeman. He ain't got nothing to give.
Excuse you.
No, excuse you.
He's an
Okay,
actor and a
Shirley.
great
Okay.
one.
Shirley, tell me who you got.
I'm gonna give you my black, my white, and my Latino. Can I do that?
Okay.
Oh, I got a white one too. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, we're
My
so-
Latino is J Lo.
we know. Yeah, you love J.
Yes, Lord.
Uh-huh.
My black is Halle Berry.
Okay, yeah.
And then just any Kardashian I can have. Just any Kardashian. It don't matter which one it is.
Hey, watch
Just
it.
any
Watch it.
Kardashian.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute.
Stop
Wait
it
a
right
minute.
there.
Hey, hold on. Slow down, slow down. You pick your age limit.
Yeah,
You talking about any one of them. Let's
you
get
get
the
locked
age.
up with that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that mama. That
I'm
mama sexy to me.
Watch it.
Oh, Kris Jenner.
Just ask for one of them.
Yeah, Kris Jenner sexy.
Yeah, she's cute.
They're all beautiful.
Chris is cute. Yeah.
That's just a great-looking family. Okay, Carla, come on.
Hey,
Oh,
what's up?
my.
You said
the
Idris.
white guy.
Yeah.
Either Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey,
Damn,
Brad
just one.
Pitt.
Yeah, just one. Just
No, she
one.
Get one
either
white man.
Yeah.
One fight.
got a little
man,
small.
okay?
A whole bag of white guys.
Brad Pitt.
Okay,
Shake
okay,
this up.
Steve, we didn't hear from you since you made us change it.
Why you not gonna play the game? Come on, Steve.
Come on, play the
Wait,
game.
no, yeah.
We ain't heard Shirley.
Oh yeah, well Shirley said Morgan. You
She
know
said
her.
Morgan.
Uncle Steve
He
said,
said he
get
can't-
real.
Steve said he can't play this game.
No, well, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I've had all mine. I done done all mine out my system. Yeah, we ain't got to go on no names or nothing. I done had all mine. I'm done. Steve out.
We gotta go. Speaking of out, take us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend.
August
And I mean that.
Tuesday.
You'll see. You'll see.
Morgan, I love you.
Oh, girl, stop.
I can't even hear good.
Good, Judy.
Come on.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit steveharvey.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.